Go. All right, good morning, everyone. It is nice and early, and just as promised, here we are streaming on YouTube now. Wait for anyone to get in. Probably not expecting any huge audience due to the time of the morning. Oh, we just had lightning somewhere. Just got the notification in my ear. Okay, just off the coast. That's where we're getting lightning right now. Not showing up on radar scope yet, but I did just get a notification from Windy. We do currently have 2 showers here producing a lightning moving onshore at the moment. And these are moving almost due east. So just south of La Push along the coast here. And most of these cells are rotating as well. So I've got reflectivity here on the left and base velocity here on the right. So both of these are producing lightning, but they're only showing up in the Windy monitor so far. And let me show you guys that real quick. The 2 brand new lightning strikes just occurred with these cells. This one's moving in a direction where it'll just miss Forks to the south. All right, Sherry, good morning. Yes, thank you for the early coverage. I'm definitely no stranger to this early coverage, as I said in yesterday's dual streams, because I did stream once on YouTube and then once for a while on Facebook as well. That I'm no stranger to waking up early. Just unfortunate I didn't fall asleep until about midnight this morning, so I am running on short sleep, but you know, it's fine. And looks like new lightning strikes in the last 7 minutes or so between Aberdeen and Montesano as well. So not quite showing up on radar scope yet, but some new showers and thunderstorms developing and moving on to the coast as well. Let me switch you guys back to radar scope. Show you guys what I'm seeing real quick. So these cells out here look rather robust in nature as well. These 2 are currently producing lightning off the coast, as well as this storm complex right here. Brand new lightning strike signatures being detected in the Aberdeen Gardens area north of Central Park. And a rather nice rotating thunderstorm crossing the Puget Sound right now. We also just had a slightly rotating cell cross over Port Orchard in almost the exact same track as the Port Orchard tornado back in 2018. Definitely some areas of rotation within this squall line here, with numerous different rotation spots within the squall. The one crossing the Puget Sound north of Seattle right now. This one will cross I-5 somewhere near Northgate. Another small area of rotation being picked up here just north of the Key Peninsula. And then, of course, an area of rotation in the Port Orchard, Manchester area, also about to cross the Puget Sound near Blake Island. All right, Sherry says pouring in Olalla right now. Oh, I believe it. Yeah, that squall's moving directly over you at this time. I'm going to share the stream to my rapid fire update channel on Facebook. I did get a little bit of a lightning report up here in Covington earlier, and this one's exhibiting rotation as well. There is favorable wind shear in the area today. You know, more so compared to the last few events. We're also gusting to 24 miles per hour at SeaTac from the south. Now, I did hear of some stronger wind gusts up north here. You know, pretty close, if not exceeding the 50 mile per hour range overnight in the Whidbey Island area. So far, models doing just an okay job at least of verifying winds, and so far doing a good job showing the thunderstorm coverage. It looks like the NAM 3KM may be a little bit more accurate on the storm coverage. Because, you know, I was saying yesterday that the HER 3KM can be a little bit too... can exaggerate the storms a little too much. But so far, it looks like the NAM 3KM may have the edge again on the storm potential. But yeah, certainly a couple areas of embedded rotation within this little squall line forming just west of Seattle, crossing the Puget Sound. Watching this closely. Watching it for any new lightning potential as well. Because the round of showers that produced some lightning over Olympia and McCleary this morning is currently moving into the Tacoma area. So, 11 minutes ago on Facebook, someone said, saw a flash of lightning across the sky down in Pierce County on my way into work around 5 o'clock. Ready for a stormy day. My stepbrother in Port Orchard said it's crazy in Port Orchard at the moment. I would certainly imagine. ETG Vortex, welcome to the stream. Just got a new lightning update on Windy. Let me see where it's at. Okay, so the thunderstorm crossing into Jefferson County along the coast, still producing new lightning. So, not this one, but the one down below here is currently producing lightning as we speak. This one right here. Yeah, so we got a thunderstorm with a history producing lightning moving towards Highway 101 just outside of Forks. Looks like this may skirt the town of Forks just a hair to the south. And then this thunderstorm here just crossed Highway 101 and will move into rural parts of the Olympic Peninsula. So this doesn't currently serve any threats to life or property at the moment. This lightning strike now showing up here on radar scope. So this thunderstorm moving A few miles north of Montesano will move off to the east, which could affect parts of Mason County once it moves into a more populated area, just as a heads up. Bear with me, Windy's being a little glitchy this morning. There we go. Just got a new scan on Windy, and I keep hearing the pops in my ear every time a lightning strike pops up. So, yes, this little thunderstorm near the town of Queets right now, moving into rural Jefferson County, is currently producing lightning over land at this time. So several showers along a squall here capable of producing thunderstorms moving into the Seattle area this morning. Did hear a report of cloud-to-cloud lightning here in the Hobart area when the storm was over Covington. James Alexander, welcome. Super quiet here in South Thurston County. Yeah, it's not doing too much in that area right now. All the activity is well north of you in northern Thurston County in the last half hour or so. But as of recently, it's cooled down quite a bit down there. The showers and storms that did produce lightning at one point are moving into Tacoma, albeit weaker than they were when they were in Thurston County. It was more of a little pop-up, popcorn-style thunderstorm. But a little squall here with some stronger showers and several embedded areas of rotation are moving into the Seattle area at this time. And this little shower that supposedly had a history of producing lightning over Covington, courtesy of a storm report not long ago, it's going to be crossing I-90 here shortly in the Riverbend area. Which, since we're behind the cold front now, there's much colder air up in the mountains and passes, so this could produce some brief heavy snowfall as it moves over or to the north of Snoqualmie Pass. Yeah, currently heavy rain with the potential of small hail and strong winds just outside of downtown Seattle this morning. Alright, thank you everyone for giving the stream a like. Looks like we had 10 people on at one point. Pretty impressive for this early in the morning. Thank you all for taking time out of your busy day to tune in. Much appreciated. Looks like no new lightning in the last 10 minutes with this cell near Forks, but it is looking rather potent here on radar. So just a wider view of things right now. This is the back end of the cold front, already moving into Spokane. It came on the coast late last night and made a beeline over to the east. And then immediately behind that, we had these post-frontal showers and thunderstorms. And right before I went to sleep, I saw some lightning way out here off central Vancouver Island, and I thought, okay, it's definitely going to be a fun morning, so got to get some shut-eye, get ready for a busy weather day today. Because this is not the only chance of thunderstorms throughout the day. The models have showed several rounds of this, and let me see if I can get an updated scan on said models this morning. So this is what the HER3 cam is showing, and it's showing the chance of thunderstorms to exist through most of the day. And this possibly looks like sort of a convergence zone feature up north near Everett. So from an hour ago in Elma, lots of rain and thunder. See what the NAM has to say, because I think the NAM's portraying this event just a little bit better. Yeah, on the new NAM, I'd say it's a split. It's like the average of what both models are saying, because the NAM currently is sort of underdoing the coverage. I just got word that we're up to 498 subscribers this morning, so we're just two away from 500. Thank you all so much for getting the word out there. Then these are current area wind gusts in the last 15 minutes. Currently, no wind gusts being picked up at Whitby Naval Air Station. It's dead calm right up there. With 26 miles per hour just outside of Cougar Mountain. 23 miles per hour at Normandy Park. 25 here near Browns Point. 26 in the Salishan area. And then 32 out here in the Olympics. Several areas of 30 miles per hour northwest Olympic Peninsula. 22 at Point Robinson. 35 to 40 mile per hour gusts in Mount Rainier National Park and surrounding areas. But otherwise, relatively calm. A little breezy, but not too much going on wind-wise around the area. Alrighty. Looks like my mouse and everything just disconnected and it just reset all my hardware for some reason. Alright, there we go. We got it back. So, no new lightning strikes in the last 5 minutes right now. Just this cell in western Jefferson County that just moved onto the coast was the only one producing lightning at that time. Had one rogue lightning strike from this storm moving onto the coast towards Forks. Alright, I'm hearing heavy rainfall outside. So this shower capable of producing, well, with previous history of producing lightning, is about to cross Highway 101 just on the south side of Forks. And then this area of the squall is moving into downtown Seattle at this time. Alright, this is what things look like on radar scope at the moment. So this nice little cell just a hair outside of downtown Forks. It's crossing Highway 101 at this time, so heavy rain possible several areas of Highway 101 along the coast. See, there's a lightning signature on this storm. Now in the Olympic National Park. This should move almost directly over the center of Olympic National Park. There's strike southwest Mount Octopus. That would be correct. And just had a brand new strike pop up there just a second ago. I don't know if you guys saw it, but it was there just a second ago. Extreme western Jefferson County, the area of interest right now. Several of these little cells will make landfall over the next couple of hours. So strong rain squall moving into downtown Seattle at this time. Moderate to heavy rain showers in the Tacoma area southward. These do have a history of producing lightning over the Olympia area in the last hour. So don't be surprised if you hear a thunderclap or maybe see a quick flash of lightning from these showers as they move off to the east. Heavy rain over Lake Rosiger as well. And another little shower trying to get going just south of Highway 8 near McCleary. Look at that. Pretty decent viewership this morning. Hello, everyone. Looks like 13 of you watching right now. 6 of you have given the stream a like. Thank you all so much for tuning in. I know you guys are probably busy today. Everyone's getting up early. You know, there's 6:30 football this morning if you're a Rams or Jaguars fan or just like football. So I do appreciate you taking a little time out of your day to come tune into the stream. It means a lot. Certainly not as strong rotation, but there was pretty decent area of rotation off of Bainbridge Island not long ago. This was at 5:31. So you have nice little rotation couplet right there at one point. It's also this area of rotation that crossed Port Orchard and nearly the same path as the 2018 tornado that moved through here. So that immediately kind of set off a little flag for me. What color was it? Could have been red. You know, could have been yellow. All I know is that it definitely set off the alert in my head when I was like, okay, we gotta, you know, start going live, send updates on this thing. Because who knows, if there's a brief spin up, you know, I want to be the first to cover it in real time. All right, up to 8 stream likes now. Thank you all so much. For anyone just joining us this morning, hello, my name's Anthony. I'm your host of Puget Sound Stormwatch. We are live early at about 5:30 this morning, covering areas of lightning. You know, lots of reports of people being waken up by said lightning. Yeah, and it looks like Ben with Washington Weather Chasers is on it now too. Current Facebook following is at 25,462. We're 538 followers away from the next milestone of 26,000. And we're just 2 subs away from 500 on YouTube. Yeah, it looks like the post is circulating well this early in the morning. Already several dozen reactions on Facebook. A recent update here at Tacoma Narrows Airport has gusts of 25 miles per hour from the south. Still gusting 24 miles per hour from just west of south here at SeaTac. Gusting to 36 due south here in Payne Field. And gusting to 24 miles per hour from the southwest here at Shelton. Also 26 miles per hour from the southwest in Hoquiam right now. 2 new lightning signatures showing up here in western Jefferson County with a landfalling thunderstorm, as shown here. And then not seeing any new lightning from the cell in Forks. It's produced 1 lightning strike off the coast as it moved onshore and hasn't produced anything since. I'm not currently hearing anything going off on the lightning monitor So, good news for this area. Interesting note though, it looks like it's gusting to 13 out of the north here in South Hill. We do have diverging winds, at least from what the airport observations are showing. So who knows? It could be outflow related from these areas of showers, perhaps. All right, Julian Cooley, good morning. Welcome to the stream. Woken up by a massive downpour in Lakewood, overloaded the gutters, couldn't keep up, no lightning that I saw. Thank you very much for your report. So yeah, winds gusting out of the west at McCord, out of the southwest at Gray Army Airfield, and out of the north at Tunn Field in South Hill. Newest update has 25 miles per hour out of the south from SeaTac and 21 miles per hour out of the south-southeast at Boeing Field. Oh boy, did we just hit the goal? Yep, we just hit 500 subs here on YouTube this morning. Thank you all so much. And up to 9 likes on the stream, 12 viewers at the moment. Good morning, everyone. Thank you for sharing a little bit of your time this morning. It's looking like we may have some weak rotation in this shower over the Waller area right now. This is actually going to move just to my south. You know, unfortunately, there's no sunlight out this morning, so I cannot see the sky at the moment. But radar is showing that sign that there could be a little bit of weak rotation in this little shower over the Waller area, moving into Edgewood, Puyallup, Sumner, Pacific area, parts of Milton. It's weak, but it's certainly there. And yeah, this is what this little rain squall looked like earlier. It was producing a pretty decent rotation couplet as it moved off of Bainbridge earlier into the Puget Sound. That has since begun to dissipate. This is what the current radar looks like right now. So the rain squall has moved over Seattle. Currently heavy rain over the Northgate area at the moment, but no lightning at this time. How weak can it be to get a brief spin up? Well, around Western Washington, you know, we do occasionally hear of these spin ups, or at the very least, funnel cloud reports. You know, that's just because with all of the terrain features, we can get a locally favorable environment sometimes to get some of these little spin ups that pop up. You know, and of course, back in 2018, we did have a little spin up tornado that moved to Port Orchard. You know, in EF2, the strongest we've had in years in this area. And coincidentally, earlier, we did have this little rotating cell earlier. Looked pretty good on radar, and it moved over almost the exact same track. It was rotating over this area, so... But it was pretty early in the morning. You know, it was at 5:31. So sun's not up yet. Not going to count on hearing any funnel cloud reports this morning. But, I mean, you know, a little cell that looks like nothing on radar, even if it's one like this down in McCleary, you know, these have produced funnel clouds at one point. And there was actually a photo circulating around at one point from Michael Snyder with Pacific Northwest Weather Watch. There was a weak cell over the Puget Sound one time with a northerly moving one off of the Puget Sound in Normandy Park. And it looked like it produced at least one funnel cloud. It might have had 2 possible funnel clouds, if not a water spout, over the Puget Sound at one point. But that was a while back. So it doesn't take much on the radar for a brief little spin up to happen, whether it's in the air or on the ground. Much more rarely does it touch the ground, but, we do get funnel cloud reports here from time to time. It does happen. And the wind shear is definitely there today. The area of low pressure responsible for the cold front that we saw last night is sliding down to the southeast across the area right now. Okay, so the storm that was producing lightning off the coast of Forks is now producing lightning again on the other side of Highway 101. This is moving off into the Olympic Mountains, but I wouldn't be surprised if it holds its strength into Port Angeles. You can really hear the rain going off outside right now. Yeah, very heavy rain outside at the moment. Oh yeah, the rain is pounding here in Milton. And as I talk, I don't know if you guys can hear that in the back. That's not a fan. That is not a fan. That is the rain absolutely pounding here in Milton this morning. As we watch a little weak area of low-level rotation move into Edgewood and Milton. This is just to my south. It's not much, but it's definitely a rotation signature out there. It looks like these frames are out of sync. But he did show a shower over Vashon Island with some rotation as well. There's circulation west of Tokeland off the coast. Let's go check that out real quick now that you bring it up. Unfortunately, the radar app for radar scope on PC is a little bit buggy. So, Tokeland area. Not seeing at the moment any rotation at this time. Certainly looks like a decent cell, but not seeing any rotation. There is a fair amount of rotation in the cell behind that, however. See the difference with the red and the green here? The reds are outbound winds, greens are inbound winds. So green's moving towards the radar, red is moving away. So you get a little bit of a circulation in there. You could have a potential water spout. And water spouts happen here and there. They're just not reported because there's not many people along the coast compared to in the city. So if there is a water spout, it may get lost in the reports or it just doesn't get seen. Oh, that's the one you were talking about. Okay. So, yeah, we're definitely rotating pretty good, for sure. And it's moving pretty much due east. So, yeah, they will certainly skirt the Tokeland area in about an hour or so. Just as a heads up, if you know anyone in the Tokeland area, Pacific County, wouldn't be surprised if maybe they put out a quick marine warning on this for mariners just off the coast. But that'll be from the National Weather Service in Portland. Which I should probably open up a window for their products in case I do get that marine warning. Go back inland real quick. Yeah, very heavy rain outside the window here in Milton at this time. probably hear what sounds like a fan in the background. That's not a fan. If you guys can hear it, that is the rain pounding outside. Wind gust of 31 miles per hour from the southwest at Tacoma Narrows Airport in the last 5 minutes. Still gusting to 25 out of the south at SeaTac. Maybe a very compact area of rotation just south of Waller, between Waller and Summit, moving into Puyallup. Although I don't anticipate anything out of this. Like, the rotation's just too weak, and there's not enough sunlight to really see anything right now, so I'm not going to get my hopes up that there's any funnel cloud reports here in the Puget Sound this morning. At least not till later on, when there's a potential for another round of thunderstorms move throughout the day. This area of low pressure is going to be with us throughout today, so there's renewed chances of these thunderstorms to move through. And for anyone else just joining, hello, thank you for taking a little time out of your day to tune in. We just hit 500 subs this morning on YouTube. Currently live streaming thunder and lightning activity around the entirety of Western Washington. +4. So that means, wow, we just hit 504 subscribers. And wrapped in rain. Absolutely. These are far from low precip storms. These are extremely high precip storms. And that's actually what you want to see for this time of the year. Thankfully we can put the fire season behind us, which is great news. We're getting a lot of rain around the Bear Gulch fire this morning. But haven't seen any new updates on fire activity here in the Olympics, where we have the Bear Gulch and the Tunnel Creek burning. But it sounds like that updates will be far and few due to heavily decreased fire activity around the area, which is great news. Like some of the best news that we could hear out there this morning. Yeah, it's been 10 minutes and the rain is still pounding outside my window. Yeah, I'm looking at some of my security cameras at my parents' house right down the road from me. And it is just going off over there right now. I'm south of all the activity there. I'm in the Olympia Lacey area. So much faster moving versus last Sunday's storm. Yeah, it's amazing the volatile nature of storms around here. They could be slow movers or they could be making a beeline out to the east or to the northwest, sometimes even to the south. The storm direction's always changing based on the event. And that's what makes the weather interesting, is it's always different around here. It's never the same. Calmer in Lakewood now, rain not pounding the roof anymore. It looks like the heaviest rain has moved out of the Lakewood area. It's currently right on top of me at this time, and it's just been pounding down rain outside for the last 10 minutes. Not hearing any new reports of lightning at this time, which is good news. I had a recent one about 5 minutes ago, and my radar scope app just crashed. Bear with me. Hang on, we're going to try to get that back. Okay, there we go. Yeah, as I was saying a few minutes ago, the radar scope app on PC is a bit buggy. You know, it would be nice if the developers put some patches on the crashing issues and the radar products not loading here and there. You make sure this is the most recent scan, which it is. So it had lightning in the last 5 to 10 minutes with this cell moving out over the western flank of the Olympics. But nothing new since then. Looks like any rotation on this cell has weakened a little bit, but there is still some rotation present, just as a precautionary heads up. So if you know anyone down in Pacific County, this is moving into Willapa Bay, so it looks like it'll probably just miss Tokeland to the south and just miss Long Beach to the north. We'll probably be moving in towards the Raymond area, Raymond and South Bend area of Pacific County in the next 45 minutes to an hour. Did just hear a lightning pop on Windy though. Okay, I'm gonna switch you guys over here. It's not showing up on radar scope, but it is showing up on Windy. 2 areas of interest now. So little pop-up thunderstorms just outside of Tokeland and just northeast of Raymond, moving east. A brand new lightning strikes just occurred in Pacific County. ETG Vortex says, the last time I did any chasing was when we had that 5% tornado chance like 6 months ago. Probably extremely underwhelming for you, right? Sure, we did get thunderstorms, but nowhere near the magnitude that was being forecast. And a lot of that had to do with that stubborn marine layer earlier that morning. Had we had the sun out early in the morning, we would have probably gotten just enough daytime heating to break through that mid-level cap. And that resulted in low top storms, which heavily limited the severe potential. As a result, we just got more of a run-of-the-mill summer thunderstorm event for most of us. Been about 15 minutes since the rain started coming down heavily and still continues to do so here in Milton. I mean, seeing the rotation in the atmosphere was still amazing. Yeah, I think I've only seen one funnel cloud, and it was via drone over my house, 400 feet in the air looking to the north during a convergence zone. I saw a little bit of a small appendage stick out from the bottom of the cloud, and I kind of figured immediately, I was like, that's gotta be a cold air funnel. So now gusting up to 31 miles per hour at Alki Point, 31 miles per hour at Point Robinson. Relatively calm up north, 29 miles per hour here near Dash Point, 41 miles per hour south of PL. So we got 18 miles per hour here at the end of, I believe this is the, not sure what you would call this feature here, but the little spit that Tokeland's on. And 25 miles per hour near Westport. These are current wind gusts in the last 15 minutes. 40 miles per hour again at Crystal Mountain. It really hasn't slowed down much there in that area of Pierce County. Yeah, so this is just an overall wider look at things right now. History of lightning with several cells making landfall on the coast of Clallam and Jefferson counties. This thunderstorm that was over here has since moved into the higher elevation of the Olympics. It could still be producing heavy rain, small hail at the moment, but it's in sort of a radar dead zone in the higher elevations. So we may be able to see it clearly after it passes through the Olympics back into the radar coverage zone. But in the meantime, we're just watching new lightning activity down here in Pacific County. This is moving east. So depending on if this holds its strength, we could be hearing thunder reports here in Oakville, Rochester, Grand Mound, Centralia, this general area here soon if these storms maintain their strength. Yeah, lightning strikes showing up here on radar scope now. That cell looks pretty nasty on radar. Maybe a little bit of rotation on the back side of this, but on the front side, not seeing any rotation out there, but definitely looks like we may have a loose rotation couplet here. All right, thank you for the extra sub. We're at 505 subscribers and counting. Thank you all for getting me to 500 this morning. This is storm relative velocity, exactly as it sounds. Velocity relative to any storms. Yeah, it's certainly showing rotation on the back end of this cell. To the northeast of Tokeland, about to cross Highway 101 to the north of Raymond. Still seeing a bit of rotation on this cell moving into Willapa Bay as well. Looks like this may clip parts of Tokeland. Outside of that, not much more for rotating thunderstorms that we can speak of at this time. Yeah, it sounds like the area of heaviest rain here in Milton has moved out. Still raining pretty good, but has decreased quite a bit. It's not pounding the window as much as it was before. It is going to be raining here for a while because these showers are moving from west to east. Oh, it'll be quite some time before the rain lets up here in the South Sound. All right, let's go check around Facebook. See if I've gotten any new comments in the last few minutes. About a dozen people saying that the thunder woke them up from deep sleep. So wind now gusting 16 miles per hour out of the north here at ton field in South Hill. The area of interest at the moment is down here in Pacific County, with these cells moving ashore right now. It does appear that this cell out over the coast is weakening a little bit. Still a little bit of a rotation couplet, but nowhere near as defined as it was just a few minutes ago. All right, streams at 12 likes. Thank you all for continuing to tune in, even if it's for a short time. I appreciate your attention. Means a lot. So this cell with a history of producing lightning is moving out towards Highway 101, mostly outlying part of Pacific County. This may scrape Grays Harbor County just a little bit to the south. It is currently moving towards Grays Harbor County, mostly a rural part, thankfully. But it will be crossing Highway 101 right around the county line in the next 15 minutes. Gusting to 23 out of the southwest at Quileute. Pretty nice looking cell directly over Hammond, Warrenton down in Oregon as well. And brand new lightning strike. Or is it? No, I'm several frames behind. My apologies for any confusion. There we go. This is the most recent scan that we have of the area. It's had a 31 mile per hour gust out of the southwest at Tacoma Narrows. Quite blustery this morning around the area. If I zoom out, can we see the area of rotation in the atmosphere? No, we cannot. Normally, when the low pressure center starts to move in, you can see the cyclonic counterclockwise rotation about the low pressure center as it moves in. It looks like we're not quite to that point quite yet. The area of low pressure is still quite a ways off to our northwest. All right, just a few minutes away from 6:30. We've already been streaming for just about an hour now. For anyone new who may be tuning in, good morning. Welcome to Shower and Thunderstorm coverage. This is Anthony here with Puget Sound Stormwatch, breaking in the live coverage before the crack of dawn. Currently just watching scattered shower and isolated thunderstorm activity around western Washington. This activity should continue throughout most of the day today, because the area of low pressure responsible for the instability is not going anywhere quite yet. It's going to keep circulating in showers as the area of low pressure moves to the southeast off of Vancouver Island. It's not until it moves off to the east that we'll get any relief from the shower activity. The most recent radar scan shows still showing an area of rotation in this cell crossing Highway 101 along the Pacific Grace Harbor County line, as well as rotation starting to re-intensify off the coast here with this cell approaching the Willapa Bay. Moving almost due east, so this will skirt the extreme northern tip of the Long Beach Peninsula. Looks like Bay Center and parts of South Bend will be in its path in the next half hour to 45 minutes. I just got a heads up that the Linden game has just kicked off. We're just waiting to see if we get any new lightning strikes that pop up. Now there's some cells out here right around the radar site that are obscured by the radar beams. So once these move off to the east, we can get a clearer image, see if these are rotating as well, but it's just way too close to that radar site. And the echoes are distorted at this time. And start to hear the wind really whipping up outside right now. I went to go check out the window and got a nice breeze as I did so. Huge shout out to an additional subscriber on YouTube just now. We're at 506 and still going up. Right there on the southern part of this cell crossing over Highway 101. A little nice rotation couplet right there. And just had a brand new lightning strike on the Grace Harbor side of the county line. So still producing lightning as it moves east off towards Oakville, Chehalis Village, Rochester, and Grand Mound. Will it hold its strength across the Willapa Hills? We will just have to watch and see. A couple embedded areas of rotation in this shower complex off the coast. You know, this scan looks a little stronger recently. Right here with this cell approaching the northern tip of Long Beach. And then a little bit of a new rotation signature showing up in the most recent scan in this heavier shower approaching Tokeland. But outside of that, not seeing very much at the moment. I hope it does. Want to see if it makes it there. Yes, of course, without causing any damage to property. You know, we have to put a huge asterisk there. Follower count on Facebook continues to go up at 25,466 followers. That means we're only 534 away from the next 1,000 follower milestone. 26K coming up faster than you know it. Just heard the rain really start to pick up again just a second ago. Another area of heavy rain moving into the Tacoma area at this moment. Yep, showing up here on Windy 1 minute ago. Just on the opposite side of Highway 101, new lightning strike. Additional areas of heavy showers moving into the South Sound here shortly. Heavier showers, possible snow up here in some of the foothills and higher terrains. Snow levels are down in the 3,000 to 4,000 foot range now at the passes. Right, this is the most recent thunderstorm product I have from NOAA, and it is already, I guess I wouldn't say wrong. The lightning reports here in Pacific County might be just a hair outside of this line here. It's within 25 miles of a point. So if you put a bunch of radii along this line here, extending 25 miles out in all directions, and you might just have it within this line here. But it does show a general thunderstorm risk for most of Washington state today. So look at maximum wind gusts since midnight. Hit 72 down at Chinook Pass, 66 here at Crystal Mountain, 50 and 57 in the national park boundary, 36 miles per hour at Point Robinson, 31 at Tacoma Narrows, 32 at SeaTac, 31 miles per hour just outside of Bellingham, 46 near Mount Baker. Okay, so we do have a thunderstorm over Astoria now. Confirmed thunderstorm over Astoria. Had lightning several miles to the south of the parent thunderstorm, back on the Pacific County side. Here. The storm is still quite a ways out from Thurston County, but it's still producing lightning at this time. So if you look west, if you know anyone, or if anyone is watching right now in Thurston County, parts of Lewis County, if you look out west, you might be able to see some lightning here real soon if you haven't already. Ooh. Certainly been a while since I've done any early morning streaming like this. Not used to it whatsoever. Yeah, quite a bit of lightning being produced by this cell now on the east side of Highway 101, crossing into Grays Harbor County. Well, that wind and rain cool air sure is cooling off the room real fast. Yeah, the moderate rainfall has been going on for over a half hour out my window. James Alexander looking west in Tenino, fingers crossed to see some lightning. It's close. And the sun hasn't really started to rise yet, so there's a good chance if this holds its strength a bit, you should be able to see lightning in the next half hour or so as this moves towards you. Someone in northern Pacific County said just had some, as in just had some thunder activity. And good morning to anyone just tagging along. Hello, greetings. Thank you for giving me a little bit of time out of your busy morning. Anthony here with Puget Sound Stormwatch tracking showers and thunderstorms around western Washington before the sun rises this morning. We got eyes peeled on a thunderstorm between Pacific and Grace Harbor County right now, just north of Raymond, as seen on the lower left portion of the screen. Just posted a new update to my rapid fire update channel on Facebook. So I don't primarily cover Pacific County, but in the event of strong thunderstorms like this in the area, I will definitely keep Pacific County in my area of interest. Brand new lightning strike with a thunderstorm on Vancouver Island. And of course, thunder lightning directly over downtown Astoria in Oregon. Outside of that, not much going on at this time. Go back to radar scope, check out velocity. Been watching this area as well, and it does look like there's some rotation directly over the northern part of the Long Beach Peninsula at this time. So we'll be moving into Bay Center in the next 10 to 15 minutes. We'll cross Highway 101 after that. So this thunderstorm over Pacific and Grays Harbor counties does exhibit rotation on it as it moves off to the east. Clear as day rotation couplet right there. A little bit of a looser couplet on this shower with a history of producing lightning over open waters as it's currently on the northern tip of the Long Beach Peninsula. Otherwise, we remain mostly quiet this morning outside of some lightning and thunder earlier in the Olympia area. I appreciate everyone for continuing to send in your reports. Reports of a power outage in the Camp Murray area about a half hour ago. So just outside of Fort Lewis, reported power outage by PSE. So, not showing up on radar scope, but this thunderstorm is still actively producing lightning as it nearly parallels the border of Pacific and Grays Harbor County. It continues to move east off towards the Grand Mound area. That means if you live anywhere between Oakville and Grand Mound, possibly as far south as Centralia, do be advised there is a thunderstorm to your west moving towards you at this time. You know anyone in this area? Go ahead, do me a favor, get the word out to them. Gonna get up for a quick stretch break real quick. It's been a while. Finally getting some gusts. I know now. How's If anyone's new to the stream, is watching this thunderstorm move east along the Pacific Grace Harbor County line, moving towards areas of Lewis and Thurston counties. It currently has a course set for the Grand Mound area. Alright, I'm gonna go shut the window. It's getting pretty cold in here. Alright, sorry everyone. Just trying to get my glasses cleaned up as well as I can. Looks like most areas north of Tacoma getting a break at the moment. More rain's coming in behind that. Looks like the center of the low pressure is somewhere off of the central Vancouver Island coast. Yeah, right around here. Not seeing any new lightning activity in the last 5 minutes outside of Canada. Looks like no new changes in max wind gusts or current wind gusts either. Relatively mild around the area at the moment. So this storm will be moving out of Pacific County here shortly, and then we'll follow the border of Lewis and Grace Harbor County for a short time, and then move into Thurston County after that. Currently has set its course for the Grand Mound area. Still clear rotation in this storm. Looks like the one that's over Bay Center has kind of started to fall apart a bit. Now, a new area of weak rotation forming on this cell several miles west of Ocean Park. About probably 20 miles or so to the west. Okay, about 30 miles to the west. The current trajectory of this storm. as it parallels along the county line here. Two new lightning strikes west of Oakville. ETG Vortex. Must be brand new because not showing up on Windy or Radar Scope yet. I may have to pull up the weather bug lightning detector again like I did last weekend. Yeah, it's showing up on there. And just showed up on Windy as well. So this is the weather bug lightning detector. And sure enough, he is correct. Should be hearing thunder in Oakville, Chehalis Village, and Rochester, if you're not already hearing it. Just popped up on Windy. Yes, second that. Just on the outside of the heaviest area of precipitation. I just realized that I was on radar scope that whole time, so you guys didn't see any of that. Whoopsie. Yeah, here's what Windy looks like. They just showed up within about a minute. And then this is what the weather bug lightning detector looks like right now. So 5 lightning strikes detected on the weather bug detector, 2 on Windy, and nothing on radar scope right now. Okay, now showing up on radar scope. So time to post another update. Rain has started in Tenino, courtesy of James Alexander. Just heard thunder. All right. We are in business. Not seeing anything new on Weatherbug at the moment. So just add those lightning strikes and then nothing more outside of that in the last 2 minutes or so. Yeah, that's the only lightning across western Washington right now is approaching Oakville and Chehalis Village. This is moving swiftly off to the east, and it looks like it still has Grand Mound set in its bullseye. It's still around a half hour out or so, but if you're not already seeing the lightning or hearing the thunder, you definitely will be shortly. Dumping in Milton, hope the thunder comes our way. Seems to be weakening too. Yeah, at least briefly weakening. Probably hitting an area of stable air, which is not good for storms. Could be what it is. But it's obviously the sun's not up yet. So we don't quite have that surface-based energy to keep these storms going or intensify them. Really just running off of any instability we have in the atmosphere at the moment. Which is just the cold air aloft. But we're just gonna keep our eyes peeled and see what happens. In the meantime, time for a quick stretch and water break. When will it start peaking today? So, the best chance of any storm activity around Western Washington is going to be when the sun comes up and when it's just sun and no clouds. So, any sun breaks we get today will enhance surface-based storm conditions. We have the cold air aloft right now. We just need the warm air near the surface. And then we're money. Really just outside of Oakville. Yeah, looks like this thunderstorm at the very least took a break now. But the rain-cooled air certainly isn't helping things at this time. Really need that sun to start coming out today. Thank you everyone for 15 stream likes. Those 10 of you still hanging along even during the downtime. Thank you so much. Just really waiting to see if this shower with the history of producing lightning near Oakville decides to spit out another bolt in the next few minutes. Outside of that, relatively quiet at this time around the Puget Sound. We had quite a bit of lightning in the Olympia area at 4:30 this morning. Woke lots of people up. Comments started blowing up, so I knew I had to jump onto the stream. And here we are now, just waiting for it to spit out more bolts. Ooh. Look like heavy rain showers about to move into the San Juan Islands. Also affect Whidbey Island, Anacortes area. Most of western, northwestern western Skagit and northwestern Snohomish counties. And I can still hear the rain hitting the window a little bit here in Milton, but it looks like a brief period of calm is coming up. Alright, this is what things look like on radar scope. The rotation within the cell has started to dissipate, but it is there just a little bit. It's a shell of itself, but there is still some rotation near Chehalis Village. Still just a pretty strong shower at the moment. You saw in that most recent scan, just lost quite a bit of steam. And then this storm with a history of producing lightning over the open waters. No lightning at this time, but is south of South Bend. Will eventually cross Highway 4. No, Highway 6. I beg your pardon, Highway 6 between Raymond and Menlo very soon. Then several other little rogue showers off the coast. The last update, we're gusting to 24 from the southwest at Quileute, 26 from the southwest at Tacoma Narrows, 26 from the south at SeaTac, 21 from the south at Boeing Field, 29 at Payne Field, 21 now here in the Coopville area, 20 miles per hour from the south in Bellingham, It does appear lightning has taken a break. Who knows, will it be permanently? We'll just have to wait and see. But the shower with a history of producing lightning is moving directly into Chehalis village, just on the south side of Oakville. It's re-intensified a little bit in the most recent scan I just got. But still, no new lightning strikes yet. Yeah, this is coming right for Chehalis village. Go over the Rochester area, and it has its eyes set on Grand Mound in Bucota. But no new reports of lightning in the last 10 or so minutes. Okay, let's see. How long have we been streaming for? About an hour 45, so probably going to start wrapping it up here in the next 15 minutes. I do have to get my blog posts ready for this morning. You know, a main post as well as a subscriber post. And if you guys haven't already considered, please do consider subscribing to Puget Sound Stormwatch on Facebook, or consider subscribing to Puget Sound Stormwatch on Patreon. The links are all in the stream description. Now, I post a lot of extended forecasts as well as fantasy forecasts, and so I've been posting religiously about what could happen next week. Although a lot of the details are still in the air, quite literally. I've been updating all of my subscribers to the page on the trends with the model runs over the last few days. Things certainly look enticing for next weekend. I'll be keeping my eyes on it extremely closely because some of the model runs have been trending up towards one of the, like, up there with some of the larger windstorms we've had in this area. However, extremely inconsistent model runs are making it a very difficult forecast at the moment. Alright, so the cell's directly over Shahela's village now. Like a lot of stuff bubbling up off the coast again. Looks like things are going to dry out for a little bit Tacoma southward, but not for long. Because there's showers right behind it. Does it have to do with the huge low pressure south of Alaska? Kind of, sort of. So, currently, the jet stream being aimed at us is helping the storm development. You see if I can show you guys this in real time. Okay, so there's our jet stream right there. That is the polar jet stream. So this jet extension goes all the way out into China and the Koreas and transverses the northern Pacific. So this little dip in the jet stream, this is a trough. This is our current trough that's giving us the storm activity. So all of these little divots in the jet stream here where it dips south, these are troughs, and there's one over Alaska right now. Oh, wow. Yeah, I was... Complete amateur mistake. Alright, anyways, as I was saying, this is the jet extension going all the way into China and the Koreas across the northern Pacific. And these little divots in the jet stream, these are troughs. So as the jet stream digs south, the troughs extend from the jet stream. So we have this huge long wave trough that was giving severe weather over the Midwest. And we have a little series of short waves over this area. And so the upper level trough is directly over us at the moment. And then this is what the evolution looks like as we go forward. Still can't see. Well, it's weird because it's on my end, so everything's fine on my end. So you're telling me you can't see it on Windy? I'm watching the stream on my other monitor and it shows it perfectly fine. Yeah, Sherry says she can see. That was for last time. Okay. So sometimes though, you can get these troughs that cut off from the jet stream. This is called a closed low out here. So they can cut off from the upper level jet and then merge back into the upper level flow further down the stretch. But it's extremely common to see these closed lows separate from the jet stream. You do have these lows attached to the jet stream, like this trough out over the Aleutian Islands. And you have the trough that's over us right now, including the long wave trough out over the Midwest. See, the jet stream extends all the way out into Europe. Yeah, hang on, reload. From Mongolia and China, all the way across the world to Europe. I'm going to put this into motion and see what happens in the near future. So our upper level trough slides off to the east, and the upper level trough over Alaska also slides off to the east. And then we're directly in line with this polar jet. So a stream of moisture looks likely this afternoon. It looks like we may just get on the bottom end of this trough. Or not the trough, the upper level jet. This will allow some weak ridging to form, which could give us a brief period of nice weather before the next storm comes in. However, it does look like the jet dips back down into the Pacific Northwest. And see, our trough that was up here, it's history. But this trough over the Aleutian Islands still pushes out to the east a bit. So then this is around the time it looks like we may try to get a small ridge, but the flow looks rather zonal here. So a chance to see maybe 1 or 2 frontal systems before our system this weekend. And then the jet is well north of our area. Here's that upper level trough digging into the jet right here. And then that looks like it could be our next frontal system. Perhaps Wednesday night. You're going to notice here, this upper level trough really starts to get going here in the Gulf of Alaska. You go in through the morning time Friday, boom, there's the jet again. And then here's our next upper level trough coming into the area. And that's going to be our storm system for this weekend. See, so the jet stream dips well south of our area, and that allows this upper level troughing to really fill in over the area, bringing unsettled weather conditions. Yeah, clear as day trough signature out over this area. Saturday morning. Go back down to the 500 millibar layer. And then start going down towards the surface. And here's our surface low right here. The European's been bouncing around with this quite a bit. It does show this area of low pressure forming offshore and intensifying. See, here's the frontal boundary. So this is the cold front right here. This is the center of low pressure. Really shows the winds picking up around our area Saturday night and Sunday morning of next weekend. See if I can pull up the wind gust menu. See if we can approximate what the potential wind gusts look like right now. And this is when it goes to every 6-hour update, so I have to skip around quite a bit. Right now it's predicting 45 to 50 mile per hour wind gusts in the Olympia area next Sunday. And picking up quite a bit here as the area of low pressure fills in and moves into the area. But so far, this is on the lower end of wind gust potential that the models have been showing. We switch the model, go to the GFS, we could very well have a very different scenario, a completely different scenario. See, on the GFS, it pulls the storm system way south of here. And brings it into Northern California and Southern Oregon, which would give us nothing up here. Now, unfortunately, I don't have another model that goes out that far right now. But it's really just a comparison between the Euro and the American. So the American, most recent one, pulls the storm well south into NorCal. The European brings it up into Cape Flattery into the perfect spot, although the strength is still a huge wild card at this time. See, the European shows it on the weaker end, only 999 millibars of pressure. Yeah, going back to current, here's the center of low pressure over Vancouver Island. And we'll usher another round of breezy to blustery winds across the area this afternoon. It looks like just for a short time, luckily. Speaking of wind, see if we have any updates, which we don't. Still rather mild and calm around the area at this time. So 12Z NAM starting to render, and it shows things picking up a bit here in the convergence zone area over in the foothills of Snohomish and King counties at about 4 p.m. this afternoon. Other than that, shows things relatively mild, some isolated showers, maybe a pop-up thunderstorm here and there. But for the most part, keeps the activity up in the convergence zone area. But the HER3 KM, on the other hand, does want to keep this shower and thunderstorm activity for most of western Washington throughout the afternoon. And starting to show now maybe another stronger shower moving through around game time tomorrow as well. Power's out in Lakewood, courtesy of a fan on Facebook. We have any new lightning strikes? Yeah, so it looks like we have a new storm down here in Pacific County moving into Lewis County. Let's go back to that. And yep, that does appear to be the case. So this will be moving into the PL area, north of PL, towards Highway 6, approaching the Chehalis area here very shortly. This is the one that was out over the water that had some rotation on it earlier. Currently does not appear to have any rotation on it right now. Yeah, really strong shower that just passed Rochester, moving over Grand Mound, but currently not producing lightning at this time. We'll have to post an update on that real quick as well. Starting to see the sun outside, slowly but surely. Okay, update's been posted. So the lightning's currently north of Highway 6. It is moving into Lewis County very shortly. It's still in Pacific County at the moment. So we will stay north of PL. It's currently aimed between Centralia and Chehalis. But will it stay at that intensity as it moves in? I feel like it's unlikely, but it's entirely possible. The sky is extremely dark outside right now, but I can start to see the sunlight out the window. Of course, as soon as I say that, it stops producing lightning. Go figure. Yeah, that one's starting the weekend as well. Might have something to do with the terrain out that way. All right, folks, been a little bit over 2 hours, but I definitely got to get some food in my system. You know, I gotta get up and get ready for a busy day. So I think we're gonna start wrapping things up here in just a moment. Anybody watching, do you have any last minute comments, questions, or concerns that you'd like me to address? Feel free to enter them down below. Otherwise, we'll begin to conclude the live stream here in the next few minutes. And then any activity from... Oh, just got an update from NWS Seattle. Okay. So it's just a continuation of the winter weather advisory currently in effect for the North Cascades. All right. Sherry says thank you, and ETG Vortex says no, sir. No other comments, questions, or concerns. Yeah, just an update from the NWS in Seattle. Winter weather advisory for the North Cascades remains in effect until 11 p.m. this evening. High elevation snow 4 to 8 inches. This is for the Cascades of Whatcom, Skagit County, including Rainy Pass. But yeah, one thing I got to do for sure is I got to make sure to write the blog posts this morning for the main page and the sub page as well. ETG says it has been fun. Yes, it has. Although it's been on the lower end of thunderstorm potential around here. Still interesting to hear people get waken up by thunder this morning, especially in the general metro area. It's not fun is the people waking up to power outages south of here. There are reports of power outages in Lakewood and Camp Murray. All right, then. Well, with all of that being said, we're going to wrap things up. Thank you so much, guys. We eclipsed 500 subs since the stream started. We're currently at 506. We're at 15 stream likes. We've consistently been at around 9 viewers or so for the last 2 hours. We had a peak of 17 viewers just after 6 o'clock this morning. So, 223 views. Not too bad for an early morning stream. My ring, people are all saying gunshots and all this other stuff. Have a good morning. Yeah, Friday night after the Mariners won, there was an update on my neighbor's app saying, hey, be prepared for fireworks. They're not gunshots. It's for the Mariners. And then people still go and post, hey, did anyone hear those gunshots? Just found it kind of funny. Yeah, it does appear the activity has died down quite a bit in the last 5 minutes. So definitely a good time to start to wrap things up a bit. So yeah, Anthony with Puget Sound Stormwatch here. I appreciate everyone that tuned in on such short notice so early in the morning. You guys rock. You're the best. Thanks for getting us to 500 subs on YouTube. It's all up from here. Closing in on 25,500 followers on Facebook. That 26K mile marker is within reach very soon. And once this storm event's over, expect updates on next weekend's storm events on the public blog post. I also have a majority of my posts public on Patreon as well. The link is down below in the description of the stream. Also in all of my briefings as well. But just as a reminder, let me go ahead and post my Patreon link in the comments in case you guys are interested. Posts like this is one of the locked posts. You guys are just getting a quick preview of it, showing some of the potential model forecasts for the area next weekend. Looking pretty volatile over the area, but the forecasts are extremely inconsistent with storm track, timing, and strength. eBill66 says, thanks for the live stream. Thank you for tuning in this morning. Much appreciated. So until next time, everyone. Probably we'll have another live stream sometime Thursday or Friday, depending on the model forecasts. So do be on standby around then. Expecting a relatively strong storm for this area based on the initial forecasts for the Friday to Sunday timeline of next weekend. I will make sure to keep everyone updated on the trends for those forecasts. Right now, it's for subscribers only, but once we get past this event, I will begin making posts on it on the public page, so do be on standby for that. Once again, Patreon in the link below for you non-Facebookers. Otherwise, Facebook, you know where to find Puget Sound Stormwatch. And also, if you guys enjoyed the stream, do please consider sending a small donation to help keep the streams alive full time. Things are kind of tight here at the office. You know, doing this as a full-time job definitely wasn't on the bingo card earlier this year. Something I've always wanted to do, and now that I get to do it full time, even if it's for a short while, is truly, truly a dream come true. I'd like to give a shout out to everyone who has showed support in the past, including Sherry Wilcox twice. So thank you, Sherry, if you're still in the stream again for that. So we have hit 20 coffees. So that is $100 in donations total. So thank you to all the coffee senders. That link is also down in the description below the stream, if you guys are interested. Thank you so much again. Yeah, the storm down here has started to dissipate as it moves towards Chehalis. And this storm is a shell of itself moving along Highway 507 between Bucota and Tenino. This will cross the highway here in just a second. Small hail and heavy rain possible, but no lightning as of recent, and thanks to the additional subscriber on YouTube as well. So we end the stream at 507 subscribers. Have a great day, everyone. I'll see you guys around for the next live stream. It should be later on this week or earlier next weekend. Looking for possibly a Friday time frame for another YouTube live stream. So have a great day, everyone. And be sure to stay weather aware. Go M's and go Hawks.